yeah.
It's not that bleeding big.
What?
I get so nervous.
Just wait for the nod from the stream. Are we good? Right then. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming along to the press conference for our next Bellator Dublin, Saturday, the 22nd of February. And before we get into that, I just think it's worth having a quick recap of what we've done this far in the year, the end of 2019, and looking back. Obviously, our first year of the Bellator Europe adventure. It's been fantastic. Our last event of the year happened a couple of weeks ago in London, the 6th event of the year. We've had a fantastic run all the way through. Obviously, 2 great events in Dublin this year, and the European show in September was, a real standout for atmosphere and for the fights. I think from a TV point of view, we've set out to sort of really show what we can do in Europe, and even on the Channel 5 show alone, we've done over 4 million people have tuned in to the 6 events, and we're rating really well, as you'd expect from a male 16 to 34 point of view, tripling that slot average in London. And an average over the year, we're about 70% up on the 16-34 males on that slot. So really happy with the way it's been going in Europe and over here, and looking forward now to 2020. And we're looking to do at least 8 events next year, looking to come back to the markets where we've been successful and grown the product, and obviously looking to break new ground in exciting new cities and towns across Europe. And I can think of no better place to start than back here in Dublin. So our first show, 2020, is going to be in Dublin, and we're going to speak to some of the athletes now. I'm going to bring on Cal and James after this for you. But first, we're going to start off with Keitha Crosby, Leah Woods, Oliver Enkamp, Lewis Long, Peter Quealy, and Aaron Chalmers. And just like to start off, Peter, I think, with you. Fantastic victory last time out against a pretty tough opponent. Mm-hmm. 3 Arena, Dublin seems to give you some superpowers. I think you seem to be enjoying it there.
Yeah, I think so. It's hard not to get energy off that crowd, and it's just a privilege and an honour to be able to fight in front of your hometown and your home fans. And for sure, it definitely gave me an edge in that fight. And maybe I wouldn't have got up if it was in Scope's hometown. Who knows?
Well, obviously, you're going to need that home crowd for this next big challenge. It's a huge fight. I mean, a big, experienced, huge fighter. Brett Primus just announced that fight. You looking forward to that?
I can't wait for this. There was a few other opponents bandied around before this, but I'm delighted with the way it's worked out, because it puts me in a position to call out Pitbull after I beat Brent, which I am going to do. And I think Pedro is going to beat him in that tournament and knock him out of that. Do me a favour. Then he'll have to defend his lightweight belt, and he'll get another smack off an SPG guy then again. So can't wait for that one as well.
So flying the flag for SPG in Ireland?
Well, he wanted it. He's been the one shiting on about it. So he's going to get 2 of us now. See what he says then.
Well, best of luck. And Aaron,
Yes.
first fight out of the UK, exciting times. I'm sure you're going to get a big warm welcome in Ireland. Are you looking forward to fighting here?
Do you know, my first ever show that I watched was Bama, Dublin 2015. I think it was Duke Umar versus Lachlan, where it went Duke Umar's way. So I've been there in James for Kiefer, Peter, so the crowd's mad. I'm just hope I get it on my side, because walking out to them booing is an awful thing. So yeah, I hope I've got them on my side. I've got a good fan base in Ireland, so I'm just excited to get in there.
And what about the fight? We've seen the last 2 wins came by submission, but we're going to get back to those explosive knockouts?
I've moved back up to welterweight. I had a few catchweights, lightweight. So I think when I go down to lightweight, I don't know, I seem to lose a lot of power. So back to welterweight where I started, and hopefully get the knockout.
Fantastic. And then moving on to Leah, obviously another one of the new signings. Again, we've re-signed you. Brilliant history so far in Bellator. I mean, Dublin's been good to you, or you brought out the best in you, should I say. You've been unbeaten in the city. You looking forward to fighting again in Sydney?
Yeah, can't wait to get back to Dublin. I don't think I enjoyed the actual fight night, the the fight until I started fighting in Dublin, in Bellator Dublin. It's just the atmosphere, and you speak to anybody around the world, this is the best show and the best atmosphere and best fans, and it's always the best fight night I've been to anyway.
And, looking at your opponent, Ruiz, 4 out of 6 wins come from subs. Is that worrying you at all?
Not particularly. I think she's experienced, and anybody I fight is going to bring a fight. I think I don't see her as highly skilled in one particular area. She's probably going to come out and be aggressive, maybe engage in a clinch, and I feel like I'm going to be dominant there. So it'll be interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to another good test.
I'm sure you'll have the crowd behind you as well. Moving on to Keitha, you always bring it, I have to say, and you always bring the passion, but you seemed a little disappointed you didn't get the finish last time out.
Yeah, it was a shy fight. I'm not into decisions, so I had like a bad frame of mind or something going into that fight, coming off that disqualification. It kind of fucked me up a little bit, but the next fight, that's out the window now, so I have a big point to prove to myself, and yeah, I'm going to be back to my old ways again, just go in and just bite down, have a knock, and just try knock someone out in the first round. Fuck all these decisions, man. I was more unhappy after that fight than all of my fights, and I won it. Do you know what I mean? So that goes to say something. So yeah, next fight will be a lot different going into this one. So I have a big point to prove to myself. So.
And do you know much about the opponent?
No, I only signed last night. But again, judging from my history, I'll probably have another 4 or 5 bleeding opponents before February. So it really doesn't matter looking into him as of now. But I can announce as of this morning, I've signed a new multi-fight deal with Bellator. So I'm not going fucking nowhere.
Well, we're obviously pleased to have you on board. I mean, Leah, obviously, and Keitha are, again...
Kiefer. Keep saying it wrong.
Well, give us a pronunciation.
Call me Big Daddy if you want me.
Yeah.
Kiefer. K-I-E-F-E-R, you're fucking Keitha. It's right here, look.
There we go. That's why I think it's the Geordie coming
Too
out.
many
You
smacks
see.
to the head.
Yeah. No, we're absolutely really pleased to re-sign him and showing the loyalty to all the people that have fought this year for us, and I think it's going to be a nice, long journey for everybody into 2020 and beyond. Moving on to Oliver, obviously your first fight in Bellator. You won, enjoyed it, and what are you thinking about Dublin?
Super excited. From what I've heard, it's like the best place to fight in Europe, not only because of the crowd, but also the arena we will be at, with the whole atmosphere they created. So, yeah, I'm super excited. It's going to be cool to come here and put on a show.
I mean, like yourself, Lewis is very experienced. I mean, does that record worry you at all or concern you?
Not really. My previous opponent had a similar record, and I think also, like, before you go professional, you can fight. Like, if I would put my amateur MMA record up there, it would be like way better, and all fights, all kind of experience is important. Like, not only your professional MMA record, but say you do a lot of kickboxing fights, Thai boxing, everything else, like, puts together. And so I think a lot of fighters have much more experience than the records actually show.
But looking forward to getting in front of that crowd.
Absolutely.
Moving on to you, Lewis. Obviously, great win on your debut against Walter, who both of you have beaten now. How was that first experience?
Yeah, it was great. The response from me has been ecstatic. Great for a lot of attention. It's nice to be put straight back in the mix again. Yeah, just happy to be here, really. You know?
You obviously both beat Walter. How do you think your styles compare?
Stylistically, I think I match up well against Oliver. I think I got the tools to pay the bills, so it's can be done.
Excellent stuff. Well, I think we'll throw it over to the crowd now, if anyone's got any questions for the guys and girls.
Hi, Peter, the first question for you. I suppose, arguably you're leading the way at the moment for Irish fighters in Bellator with, obviously the Scope fight was a big fight after his performance against Pitbull, and now fighting Bryn Primus as well. Do you kind of take a pride in that, and that's always something you've kind of wanted to do, and is that something you kind of take a big pride in coming into this fight?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like I've led the way my whole career in ways for Irish fighters and how I've handled it and the people I fought. And I fought in South Africa and Russia and all these different places where no one really wanted to go because it's hard to win there. So I think, especially for my own teammates, I feel like they've taken some inspiration from how I've handled my career, and again now I think I am leading the charge a bit. I'm fighting very top opposition for and showing that us guys in Europe can beat these top guys, and that we're just as good. And that's it. We've known this for a long time, and I think the public are just starting to see it now. So yeah, I do take great pride in that. What? And coins and spit at us. James went to Russia with me one time, and we were spat at. We had coins thrown at us. We had to have a military escort to leave the. It's probably because of him mainly, but it was a mad scene. But that's what I was up against my whole career. So this is just like a dream come true to me. I just get to drive 20 minutes to the arena, sleep in my own bed, have people cheer me instead of boo me, and be around. It's just amazing. I'm just like living a dream at the moment, to be honest. So it's great.
A question for kind of Leah and David. You know, since the last fight, I think there's been a lot talked about Leah coming through, and even a press release yesterday announcing her fight and things. Is that just for both of you? Is that kind of a big thing to, have that placement in the card, on the main card as well, and have Leah there as kind of one of the name people coming up in Ireland?
Well, I think just to kick it off for myself, I think, obviously we've been huge fans of Leah throughout her career, and I think she's, delivered in the cage. So it's fantastic to have her resign for Bellator, and it's a great thing for us. I think, if you look at, first of all, the way she fights, it's very exciting. It's been great so far, but she's also been somewhat of a sort of standard bearer for female MMA and female MMA in Ireland, I think. And the response has been great from the fans and from the press. So, bring it on. I think really happy to have her on board.
What was the question? Sorry, was it? Poster girl. Yeah, if I fight first or last in the card, I don't care. Like, for me, it's nice to be there with everybody else, but the fight's the same. I'm going out to fight, and do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't change my mentality of training. Every time I'm in fight camp, it's like I'm training to fight the best in the world. And yeah, but it's nice to have recognition and to be kind of up there. Yeah.
Anyone else out there?
Kiefer, you weren't too pleased with your last performance, as you said yourself, but it was very calculated and you showed a different side to you. Do you think that you actually grew as a fighter, like, grinding out that win?
Yeah, grow as a fighter every fight, you win or lose. But, again, in terms of, like, I wasn't happy after that win, so after, when I evaluated it and I wrote everything down and I was looking back, like, after a win, if I'm that unhappy, something's off, do you know what I mean? So going into that fight, I just made a point to me. I was like, just don't fuck this one up, don't get disqualified again. You know what I mean? Coming off a DQ was weird. I've never been disqualified before, so I nearly held myself back from doing what I normally do. It's like controlled chaos with me. You know, it looks like I'm going splats, but really I'm very technical and I just like to fight sometimes. But I wanted to hold back a little bit and play it safer. Then looking back at the fight, yeah, look, I didn't get touched. It came out unscathed. It was a very defensively intelligent fight. And yeah, I controlled the whole fight. It was grand. But looking back at it, I'm not a decision fighter. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather fucking just go out and fight and have really good fights and get a win, or just make sure people are going to remember my name forever in this sport as one of the best fighters to come from this country or in the world. But yeah, the next fight, again, my mindset is different now going into this one. Do you know what I mean? Going back to my old ways, training really hard and just going out to just finish whoever's in front of me, So I guarantee I won't be going 3 rounds. No chance.
Cheers. And Aaron, obviously this is your first time fighting in Ireland. You mentioned before about, fighting in Ireland and saying that it was a great atmosphere, but you said you'd leave it to the Irish fighters. What changed in your mind and what made you really want to come over here for your next fight?
Do you know what it is? Obviously, I've fought in England 6 times, and what better place to start, like, out of England than Ireland. I've been here loads of times, like I say, to watch, and the atmosphere is unbelievable. There's only one place I'm going to say is better than Ireland, is obviously Newcastle, but that's me being biased. But every show, it's biased. That's for me, because obviously I get a good reception in Newcastle, but to fight in front of a crowd like that who's so passionate about fighting, then that's obviously why I wanted to be here, and here we are. Sorry.
Anyone else? Questions? Well, we'll be having one-on-ones with the guys after this, and after these guys step out, we'll be bringing James and Cal in. So if we've got any more questions from the audience now? Oh, over there, I think. Sorry, sir.
Belfast.
Well, you know, we did do Belfast a couple of years ago. I think, you know, a lot of it comes down to actual arenas and what we can do. There's no surprise that we're back in Dublin. I think, you know, if it's not broke, I think, you know, we've got a great fan base here. We've proven the concept, I think, which is important. I think, you know, we're trying to break new ground with Bellator Europe, but a lot of it's about, you know, making a solid base in these places and coming back to them and rewarding the fans with their loyalty, you know. So I think it's important we do come back to Dublin and keep delivering this product. Obviously, we'd like to try new places. I think Belfast is an obvious one as well, so I'm sure you'll see that in the calendar before long. Okay, well, if that's all right for you guys, I'll let these guys go and you can have them one-on-one, and I'll bring up our main event, Mr. James Gallagher and Cal Elno. Thanks, guys.
Newcastle's all right. Nothing wrong being second place.
Great stuff. There we go, mate. Where's Cal? Oh, so, just want to introduce again our main event, the delayed but now on James Gallagher versus Cal Elno. I just think to start with you, James. The Jimmy Show's back.
Fucking right it is, mate. Fucking right.
Now
Shut up as always.
You were gracious enough, I think, to say pretty quickly when we got through Cal's thing that you'd love to have that fight back on. You pleased to be fighting him and back in Dublin so soon?
I don't give a fuck who I fight, mate. It's the Jimmy Show. It's about me here. It's me that sells it out. It's me that steps in there. And it's the people that come to see me. So no matter who's across that cage for me, it doesn't matter. I'm showing up. I've got a good test in my hands. Looking forward to showcasing my skills. And yeah, I'm going to put on a spectacular performance.
Well, you dispatched your last opponent here pretty quickly in the first round.
Go do the same this time.
You expecting the same thing?
I'm gonna.
Do you think Cal represents any sort of different?
Yeah, very
obstacles?
different fighters. One's tall and skinny, another one's small and stocky. Totally different kind of guys, but Cal didn't show up the last time. Your man did, and I dealt with him. Cal hopefully will show up this time, and I'm going to deal with him as well.
And coming on to Cal, it's been a bit of a roller coaster for you the last couple of months.
It's been a bit shit, mate, to be honest, but I'm back now, so cannot wait.
The last time I saw you at the press thing in London, you seemed really happy to get this back on, obviously get your career back on track. You looking forward to it?
Absolutely cannot wait. Good test, finally, last time I was out, got Grayson, this time Gallagher. All I want's big fights to show me level, you know what I mean, I believe. Anybody 135, I can beat them, so...
Not me.
We'll see, but...
You will.
We will, I can't fucking wait, mate.
And of course, I mean, I think it's fair to say you might not have the crowd behind you on this fight in the arena. Does that bother you?
Nah, I perform better in them environments, you know what I mean?
We'll see.
Fighting in South Africa, stuff like that, this is just a perfect opportunity for me. Especially as well, I've got nothing to lose here at all, you know what I mean?
You're going to lose.
Everyone, mate, all the pressure's on you, James, that's the problem, you know what I mean? Everyone thinks I'm a bum, this, that. I'm a bum if I lose, what does it matter? If I come in there and he doesn't put me away, he automatically looks shit. I'm going to come out there gleaming, looking like a superstar, you know what I mean? I cannot wait.
I'm the superstar, no one knows you.
For now.
Well, I think on that, we'll hand it over to the guys.
I suppose the last time you met at the London press conference, we saw the videos of you kind of hugging and talking to each other normally. It's changed a little bit today, even for a couple of seconds here. I suppose for James first, what has kind of changed for you? Is it maybe just a change of mindset and you're getting closer to the fight now?
Nothing. There's no problem shaking his hand. I have no problem keeping his head in either in the 22nd.
Is that important for you though to have a bit of animosity or to with your opponent and have a bit of a back and forth with him?
I don't. I just stated a few facts. I don't have any animosity.
And for you, Cal, what do you think? There's obviously a bit of back and forth there that you hadn't at the last time you met. Is that something you kind of need coming into the fight, or you want something with James opposite you?
Nah, it doesn't matter to me. This is what I do. I'm a fighter, you know what I mean? Like us, hate us, say whatever you want about us, you know what I mean? It doesn't really matter. We're going to punch each other in the head anyway, so Doesn't
I'm
matter
going to
who
punch
comes
you
to
in
me.
the head.
We'll see.
Next question.
Just one more for James. You're here obviously wearing the Ireland jersey, and we've the arena just across here. Is that something you take great pride in? Like before the last event, you were talking about maybe going to America for your next one, but after that, you were saying I'm coming back to Ireland again. Is that something big for you to be like the representative of Ireland headlining?
100%. So it is. It's just different. Do you know what I mean? Name one other fighter that can do that. Not one. None of them. Not even any of the champions can sell over 10,000 tickets. Not even one of them. And it's me. Do you know what I mean? The guy who they call a bum, the guy who they ridicule, the guy who gets all the hate and then has he just like this, liking all my hate comments. Do you know what I mean? That's what you call a bitch move. It's like the whole MMA community, no one has balls, they say how it is. No one wants to step up and say stuff themselves. And I feel like I'm the only one that does it. I say it how it is every time, and I get all the flack for it. Being real, being truthful. And that's the way it is. I'm not going to go behind, you know what I mean, be like a little bitch like the way all the rest of them are. And that's why they can't do that.
Next question.
James, congratulations again on another headliner. I just wanted to wonder, because this fight has been building for a while, what are your thoughts on Cal as an opponent? Obviously, because you were preparing for him for so long, like before September.
Just another guy. So it is nothing special. I feel like Cal's got tricks. So he does. He's got a few tricks, but his overall game has got massive, massive holes. Avoid them few tricks, punch him in his head, and he's going to cave in.
And obviously at London, you just came face to face, and you mentioned something about the Strangler. He has a good few submissions on his record. You don't see that as an issue coming forward?
As I say, he's got tricks. Who he has caught out shit, scrambly, explosive white belts, like in his previous fight, and when he was in Newcastle. He got a shit guy who hasn't got a solid fundamental game and was able to use his tricks on him. I'm a rock solid martial artist. There's very little holes in my game. I'm tight as a rock. He's not going to be able to have any tricks on me. He's not going to be able to move. He's not going to be able to deal with my pressure. And I don't get caught in tricks. And when you're against a high-level grappler, and you're a low-level grappler with high-level tricks, it's a rough, rough night. I used to be like that when I was 12 or 13. That's how I know.
And obviously, Cal, you've overcome a lot of adversity over the last few months. Has that gave you a lot of added motivation coming into this big, huge fight?
I'm always motivated, like, I cannot wait. Especially, like, fighting someone like James, you know what I mean? As I say, about to fight The Rock, so I cannot wait. I cannot wait to submit him in his own country as well. It's going to be fucking amazing.
And as you mentioned there, you thrive in those hostile environments.
Mm-hmm.
Did you manage to see the atmosphere that Ryan Scope's entrance got against Peter Queally in September? Because it was a bit overwhelming, and some might say that affected his fight.
It was amazing, you know what I mean? He knew he was in for a tough fight with Peter before the fight, like, massive crowd, but nah, man, it's just one of them things. That's what I want to be involved in, you know what I mean?
They all say that.
We'll see.
Just one for you, Cal. James said you've a lot of holes in your game. What holes do you see in his game?
I see loads of holes in his game. Watch him fight Labiano when he's on top. He leaves his legs all over the place, you know what I mean? Saddle City, as we call it, you know what I mean? He's good if he gets you back, but on his back he doesn't look great. A bit like a turtle. Flip a turtle over, you know what I mean? I see holes there. I see holes everywhere, though, to be honest, so... But it's a good test, you know what I mean? He's good, he is good. I'll not say he's not good, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to fight him if he wasn't good. All I want to fight's good people there. So it is a good test, but I do believe I can beat him, so I just cannot wait to put it all on the line and fight there, you know what I mean? In front of a crowd like that as well. It's going to be amazing.
And just one for you, Dave. Dave, obviously the TV deal with Sky Sports, I think was due to end at the end of this year. Is there any updates for the European fans? Because it's been a little bit messy. That's sort of been the complaints where fans have had to jump from channel to channel, back online to the app, onto YouTube, things like that. Is there any updates where it's going to be easier for the consumer to view the product?
Yeah, we like to keep you busy on the night, but no, I think it's been no secret. We've been trying to get some big platforms, and like I said at the top of the conference here, I think we've achieved that in terms of free to air offerings. Here we had the Virgin Media show here live on Virgin 2, which was fantastic. Channel 5 available prime time, 10 o'clock. But yes, we've got we're trying to work out the deals at the moment so that we can give it even more for 2020. I think it was fantastic for us to have all the American international shows on Sky Sports, plus the video on demand with those guys afterwards was fantastic. So, and the app fills in the gaps. So we're available around the world. So everybody's getting a chance to see us. I think you'll see some announcements over the next couple of weeks that will further refine that, and we'll be telling you more about how to watch the shows.
Thanks.
Anyone else there? Well, I'm sure you'd like to speak to the guys one-on-one. We'll do a quick face-off before we leave, but before I go, I'd just like to say, to remind everybody, Saturday, 22nd of September, tickets are available at Ticketmaster.ie. I can think of no better Christmas present than
the Jimmy Show,
than a Bellator 3 Arena ticket for your loved ones. So look forward to seeing you then, and there'll be plenty of announcements of some really big fights coming up in the next couple of weeks. So look out for news. Thanks so very much. Thanks, guys.